STL Today Talks is presented by Webster University, which offers innovation and leadership in online learning with the flexibility you need to fit your schedule. Visit webster.edu to view the undergraduate and graduate degrees available online.
All right, this is a good segue. This was a question that was submitted. Has there been a new artist, venue, or performance that you've discovered through streaming that you might not have found otherwise, that you have discovered in the pandemic that you could share with people who are watching?
Wow, that's a great question.
Great question.
Well, there actually is a world premiere Zoom musical going on right now from a theater in Detroit that I was going to be watching.
Wow.
And it's a new musical about the evolution of R&B music and in Detroit. Not the Motown story,
right,
but just sort of all the other sort of R&B and soul and blues that were coming out of Detroit during the 40s and 50s. And I had been watching previews of it and was very, very excited to see it. And I'm hoping that it's taped and available for me to watch later.
I hope so too. I hope I can search for it and try to find that online.
It's called Hastings.
It's called what?
Hastings Street.
Hastings Street.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I don't have
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Kofi, please.
Well, it's not so anticlimactic. I don't have a specific artist yet. What's been really interesting, and I think this is what Peter alluded to, is even in creating new online content, we've seen artists who were historically dancers or singers who are figuring out a way to not just do that, but creatively make videos that are not just a camera pointed at a person doing a single dance. So watching those individuals exercise a different artistic muscle that I maybe didn't know that they had, maybe they did, and they just never had the vehicle to do that. That's been really entertaining and encouraging. I think that for these younger artists, they're figuring out a way to expand that skill set a little bit into what is currently the normal, which is an online world. I agree with Ron. Ultimately, I don't want to live in that world. That's not what we do. We have an 11,000 seat theater, so we need people to come outside. But in the meantime, watching artists still, because I think that what they do at their core is what's in their heart, to perform and to share that. So being able to find a different way to do that right now it's encouraging to see.
Yeah. Andrew, do you have?
Watching streaming has exposed me to some artists, and we had our Young Artists program brings together 35 of the most talented emerging opera singers from around the country every year. And of course, we couldn't do that this year, but working over Zoom, we were able to work with those singers and hear from them and meet them. And so I was able to meet a young soprano who did one of our virtual master classes, who my colleagues had discovered out on the audition tour, but who I would not have met this year were it not for Zoom. Young soprano named Lindsay Reynolds, who just knocked us out. And I can't wait to bring her back to opera theater in years ahead, because even over the limitations of Zoom, and I agree with my colleagues that we are going to get back to live and we have to get back to live, but even over the limitations of Zoom, an artist who has that kind of talent can still touch you through the many limitations of technology.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I would do a shout out for a friend of the Sheldon, Peter Martin, who really has this streaming thing down. He is doing an excellent concert every week. Every week's different. He was an early adopter to this whole thing and was well set to take advantage of it. So he's doing great work. And then the only other new thing I picked up, I think last week, was an all-female Japanese heavy metal band called Boris. So
oh, that sounds great.